Hi there. My name's Kelly, and I'm a yoga and meditation teacher. And today I want to share a practice that can help you, all of us, to process anger and highly triggering emotions. Sometimes, if we have physical challenges or limitations, it can cause anger and anxiety. And it's so important to learn to move through our emotions in a healthy way because if we don't, it can go directly to our body and cause more dis-ease and pain. So some of the things that happen in the brain is that the stress activates the amygdala gland, which sends energy to our extremities and shuts down our immune, digestive, and reproductive systems so that we can fight or flee danger. The brain releases stress hormones, causing inflammation. So, mindful meditation and movement can be very effective in calming the amygdala, activating the parasympathetic relaxation response, and integrating the logical and creative hemispheres of the brain to generate new solutions. So, it just expands our mind and helps us to be able to um, open up to other alternatives. So, anger can mean that we have too much fire or pitta energy. And I'll show you some of my favorite ways to release that excess energy. So, bare feet on the earth and being in nature can be very grounding and healing. So, I invite you to slip your socks off and we can connect directly with the earth whenever possible. And it just rained here, so I've just moved it to the deck, but at least we're still surrounded in nature. So, but if you can get right on the earth itself in your bare feet, that's the most beneficial to be able to soak up all that wonderful healing energy that Mother Earth has. So I really encourage you to listen to your body during the practice and do what feels nourishing for you. And a chair may be helpful and supportive for your practice for a couple of poses today. So feel free to have one close by. So the first thing I'm going to show you is something I love to do often if I'm feeling really overwhelmed or anxious or angry and just have that excess energy. And I just love to shake. So just moving into the body in whatever way feels right for you. I found a couple of little techniques that really help to flush that energy out. And I'll show you, but just do whatever feels right for you. So for me, I'll show you a little bit closer here. Coming into the knees, doing quick back and forth movements with the knees. And you'll start to notice that the whole body starts to tremble when you go quicker and quicker. The whole body, the thighs, the buttocks, the belly, everything starts to move. And you may naturally start to feel some deep breaths coming through and just let it go. And if it's not coming, just inhale and exhale, open the mouth and release. Let the shoulders get into it, the arms, and just start to shake. Even close your eyes or soften them if you'd like, looking down towards the earth and really start getting into it. And you'll start to feel after a very short period of time the heat moving through your body. And we're just working everything up, bringing all that stuff to the surface that maybe we stuffed down. One of the worst things we can do is repress our emotions, and it just eats us alive. So just let it come up and out. We're so afraid to feel our emotions sometimes. And really, when we actually do, we feel so much better afterwards. And when we don't and we hold it inside, we feel bad for a long time. So just let yourself go. And you may already feel a shift, and if you don't, that's okay. That's what this class is all about. So from here, just rolling through the shoulders. And another technique that I learned through a Kundalini teacher is to bring the arms up like this and then swing the arms down. So it's, I feel like an orchestra conductor when I do this. So it's 1/3 breath for as you're inhaling up, and then an exhale, ha. So it's in, exhale. Ha, 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 ha. Just releasing all that tension that we moved around. And it's like you're just throwing it down to the earth. And Mother Earth can transmute it again, recycle it into something beautiful. So it's just 1/3 breaths, inhaling and then exhaling. Again, you can feel free to close your eyes or soften your eyes, whatever feels good for you. And we're bending our knees as we come down like little shock absorbers. And just moving in this motion. And the last one, inhaling up, stretching tall, and then exhaling nice and slow into a swan dive. So this may mean putting your hands on the seat of a chair. If you just want to come halfway down, just being mindful of any low or high blood pressure. If you get a little bit lightheaded, just keep your head above your heart. So this may be your position for today. And if it feels safe for you to come a little bit lower, you can slide down using the chair or down on your calves. And just slowly releasing. Nice deep breaths into Uttanasana. And then lifting through the arches of the feet, engaging the legs and hinging up from the hips all the way up. And exhale down into a swan dive. Just let your head release down, turning the head from side to side. Releasing the neck. And then inhaling back up again. You can always come up by slowly curling through the spine and bending the knees as another option. So just feel that warmth in your body as we inhale and exhale up and down. And as you're in Uttanasana, or standing forward bend, just bending one knee at a time, stretching a little bit through the hips. Inversions are really great to release tension, to elevate your mood and your energy level. I highly recommend them every day. Inhaling up and then bringing your hands to heart center. So we're going to come down onto the knees now on the mat. And just hands and knees. Hands are underneath the shoulders, our knees are underneath the hips. and gently starting to flex into cat-cow. So inhaling, coming up, pressing the belly down and drawing the head and tail up and away from each other like a long bow. And exhaling, rounding the spine. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Really tilting the pelvis and using your abdominal muscles. Inhaling. And as you exhale, pressing the hands down, lengthening through the arms and opening the upper back. So really feeling into the front of the heart and allow it to begin to soften. And as you exhale, the back of the heart. Just softening as we release all of that pent-up energy that's not serving us. Sometimes it serves us. Sometimes anger can serve us to get into action. But when we have too much energy, too much, and it's overwhelming or overpowering, then it's good to just process it. And then slowly coming back to downward dog, releasing into child, stretching the arms out, and then pressing into downward dog, turning the toes under, using the strength of the legs to pull you up and back. Hips come up, pulling back, and really continuing to engage the legs nice and strong. Exhaling and externally turning the upper arms out to create a strong foundation, hugging the shoulder blades into the back. And then slowly releasing down and pressing into child. Just taking a couple breaths in child. Breathing. And as you're reflecting in child, just contemplating, is this anger a trigger or a shadow that I'm open to looking at? Just evaluating what is going on. Instead of just reacting, just looking a little bit deeper. And then rounding the spine up, just doing a couple more cat-cows. And this time we're going to do the lion's breath. As you release and round the spine, sticking the tongue out and releasing from the back of the throat. Inhaling up and exhale, looking up towards between your eyebrows, and exhaling, tongue comes out. Just voicing with the lion's breath anything more you need to release. And releasing down into child. Slowly shifting into an easy pose. Lengthening up through the spine. And then inhaling, arms coming up. And as you exhale, slowly reaching over to one side. Inhaling up. And exhaling over to the other side. And it doesn't matter how far you go, just listen to your body, keeping the sitting bones on the ground. And you may be starting and just warming up with gentle movements back and forth. And as the body starts to open up a little bit, if it feels right, just going a little bit deeper, always tuning in and just listening to what's right for you today. Every day might be a little bit different. So we're just opening up through the lungs and moving the prana through the body. Stretching between the intercostal or in through the intercostal muscles between the ribs. And this time we're just going to pause for a moment, hold and breathe. And over to the other side. And then as we come back up, arms come up. And exhaling, coming into a gentle twist to the right. Inhaling up. And exhale to the left. Inhaling. And just wringing out any anger or tension in the solar plexus. Wringing out the spine. And these nice repetitive movements are very calming to the mind and the nervous system. It helps our thoughts to slow down and our whole calm and belong parasympathetic nervous system starts to activate with these gentle movements. So we're just going to move into another one of my favorites. And this is moving in a circular motion, but leading from the heart. So just leaning to the right leg, coming around into a circle. Hands are on the knees. And you can start with smaller circles and gradually getting bigger. And this is another one I love to just soften or close my eyes. And it literally is like I'm unwinding from the day. It helps to work into our hips and our shoulders, really nourishing the spine. And then slowly coming back to center. And we'll start going in the opposite direction. So again, leading with the heart, nice long spine. And you'll feel as you come around the back with the hands on the knees, as you lean back, it really does a nice stretch and opening through the mid upper back. You can connect with your Ujjayi breath, that deep breath that you're pressing your tongue up towards the roof of the mouth. Again, is calming for the nervous system. So just reflecting. Are we stuck in the illusion that we can control someone outside of ourselves? Sometimes our anger is coming from an outside source. Sometimes it's coming from maybe our own body, our frustrations. So just reflecting on what can I change and what can't I change? What can I take action on? And slowly coming back to center. And we're going to switch the feet, bringing the front foot in. And again, lengthening up the spine and walking the hands forward into a forward bend. Forward bends are very nourishing, calming and cooling. I remember one of my teachers when I was down in Florida saying it was a very busy outdoor intersection in a park. And he said that if you listen closely for all the sounds around you, they all end up sounding like Om. And I just thought that it really stuck with me years later. I think of that when I'm doing my practice and I hear different things in the environment, whether it's a car or a plane or anything going by. It just, when I just automatically zoom into that Om sound, it's so calming. So just reflecting on if I can't change the situation, how can I change my perception of the situation? And just walking your hands to the left in that forward bend. How can I change my perception right now? And walking the hands over to the right. Breathing deeply up and down the spine. Coming back to center, walking the hands up. So we're going to go into a pranayama breathing technique called Bhramari, or the bee breath. And this is a beautiful breath to soften or close off our senses. And I'll show you the hand fingers over the eyes, the ring finger over next to the nose, and then the pinkies by the mouth, and the ears get plugged by the thumbs. So I'll just explain it first before you plug yours so you can hear me. So basically it's inhaling through the nose and exhaling a hum sound. So it's very simple breath. And the fingers on the eyes, nose, and mouth are just shutting off our senses, pratyahara, closing our senses and the ears. So inhaling, we'll do 5 full breaths at your own breath pace. We'll inhale together and release, and just go to where it feels comfortable. You don't want to feel that your breath is being exhaustive. And so do it at your own pace. So index and middle finger gently on the eyelids, ring finger on the nose, and pinkies on the mouth, thumbs in the ears, inhaling. pause for a moment in Pali Mudra or Shraddha Mudra. And this is the mudra of shelter. And we take the um, ring finger around the back of the index finger, and then the, sorry, the middle finger around the index finger, and the ring finger comes around and connects with the thumb. So just connecting, show you from different ways. It's like you're crossing your wish fingers, middle and index, and then ring finger and thumb come into a circle. And just resting on your knees. Feel free to close or soften the eyes. This mudra is very grounding and uplifting. I confidently journey forward, trusting in the guidance of my inner being. So you can repeat this mantra out loud or in your head 3 times with me. I confidently journey forward, trusting in the guidance of my inner being. I confidently journey forward, trusting in the guidance of my inner being. I confidently journey forward, trusting in the guidance of my inner being. And you might like to do this every day for 40 days, coming into the Shraddha Mudra as part of your sadhana, your spiritual practice. Just feeling that sense of confidence in your solar plexus, Manipura chakra. Our center of our will and personal power. And whenever you're ready, you can recline down into Shavasana and feel free to stretch your hands out, or you can continue to hold Shraddha Mudra. So we're just stretching the legs out to the sides, arms come to the sides. You can use a pillow under your knees if you like, or bend your knees and angle them in together if you find lying flat on your back uncomfortable. So just taking some nice deep breaths in, settling into this space. Inhaling for the count of 4. Pausing at the top of the breath. And exhaling for the count of 4. Inhale for the count of 4. Pause. And exhale for the count of 4. And one more nice deep breath in. And exhale. So I invite you to imagine yourself walking through the forest. And each step that you take, you feel more and more grounded, connected to the earth and present in your own body. As you breathe in, you absorb the oxygen from all the beautiful trees around you, drawing strength and nourishment from nature. And as you walk along the path, you can hear some water in the distance. And as you walk further, you come upon a beautiful lake. And you dip your bare toes in the lake, and it's so warm and nourishing. And you slowly feel invited deeper into the waters. And as you walk in this nourishing waters, you feel your whole body releasing any tension. All the stress just washes away. And you gently just ease back onto the water surface, floating effortlessly. And I'm going to share a little poem with you as you drift on the water surface. This poem is by Jeff Foster. Once I had anxiety, a mind that wouldn't stop, thoughts that wouldn't be silent. So I stopped trying to silence them, and I dropped out of my mind and into the earth, into the mud, where I was held strong like a tree, unshakable and safe. Once anger burned in the depths, I called anger into the light of myself. It felt shocking and powerful. I let my heart pound and my blood boil, listening to it finally. And it screamed, "Respect yourself fiercely now. Speak your truth with passion. Say no when you mean no. Walk your paths with courage. Let no one speak for you." And anger became an honest friend, a truthful guide, a beautiful wild child. Once I ran from difficult feelings. Now they are my advisors, my confidants, and my friends. And they all have a home in me. And they all belong and have dignity. I am sensitive, soft, fragile, my arms wrapped around my inner child. And in my sensitivity, power. In my fragility, an unshakable presence. In the depths of my wounds and what I had named darkness, I found a blazing light that guides me now in battle. I became a warrior when I turned towards myself and started listening. So just taking some nice deep breaths in, beginning to slowly waken the body. And as you lie on your mat, just stretching through your fingers and toes as the prana flows through your body on the inhale. And as you exhale, just turning your head from side to side, keep breathing as you gently start to open your eyes, looking around at all the beauty around you, feeling that grounding energy from the earth. And when you're ready, just slowly rolling over onto your right side, gently pressing up into a seated posture. And I invite you to end with Om Shanti Om, Om Shanti Om. So we'll just sing that 3 times, inhaling Om Shanti Om, Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om, Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om, Om Shanti Om. And ending with 1 Om. Peace to you, my friend. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for joining me.